Welcome to the Science of Academic Success. Question: is success in university all about just being smart? If you answered yes, then I hope this video will change your mind. And along the way, I hope you'll discover some truly valuable tools to help you with your own academic success. In this video, we're going to discuss how to use the science of motivation to drive our success in university. This is the second part of our two-part discussion of the motivation research. If you haven't already watched part one, I encourage you to pause this video and go and watch that one first. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, done? Good. Now let's get on with part two. In this second half of our motivation discussion, we're going to get specific about what the research identifies as effective contributors to our academic success. And we'll discuss how to implement these for our own success. A researcher named Angela Duckworth examined a factor that she named grit, and which she identified as a predictor of why some people succeed while others struggle in certain areas of life. So what is grit? Duckworth defines grit as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. Grit has two subcomponents. The first one, perseverance of effort, describes our ability to put in continued effort, to work hard toward a goal, even when we sometimes face temporary setbacks or failures. And the second component, consistency of interest, describes our ability to focus on that goal and not waver or disengage from the goal. Now, in a series of follow-up studies, including a really excellent meta-analytic review of the grit data by Marcus Crede and colleagues, it's been revealed that the perseverance of effort component of grit has merit and does appear to have an independent, unique impact on academic performance. And this relation between perseverance and academic performance continues to exist even when accounting for other factors such as IQ or conscientiousness. So why are we talking about this? We're talking about this because this perseverance of effort component of grit is something we can control, meaning that we can change our academic success outcomes. Putting in sustained effort toward our goal and not giving up when we face temporary failures has a big positive impact on our academic success. This is a change in our mindset that we can do for ourselves to improve our academic performance. We can choose to take the perspective that life's journey will have temporary setbacks and failures, and we can choose to recognize that the most important thing we can do is choose to persevere and work through those temporary failures. This takeaway from the grit research is consistent with the research on another important academic success factor, having a growth mindset. A researcher named Carol Dweck, along with her colleagues, together have been studying the relationships between academic success and the type of mindset, a system of beliefs, that a person has toward the nature of intelligence. Dweck and her colleagues have found that some people will have a growth mindset, where the person will believe that their ability, their intelligence, is changeable, and that with effort, with work, they can grow their ability to deal with challenging intellectual tasks. Whereas other people will have a fixed mindset, where the person will believe that intelligence is something that you either have or don't have. These very different mindsets can lead to very different academic outcomes. For people with a growth mindset, when encountering a failure, these individuals are more likely to see this as a challenge and an opportunity to learn and master something new. These individuals are less likely to be threatened by a failure, less likely to take it personally, and less likely to withdraw following the failure, meaning they are more likely to persist. For people with a fixed mindset, when encountering a failure, these individuals are likely to perceive this as a direct reflection of their personal failings, their lack of intelligence. They are more likely to take the failure personally and be personally threatened. When faced with failure, these individuals are more likely to give up and withdraw. In addition, this can also lead to a fear of getting failure feedback, which can lead to avoidance behavior such as procrastination. Carol Dweck's research on the growth versus fixed mindset has demonstrated that having a growth perspective, believing that your intelligence is something that you can grow by working through challenges, is related to better academic achievement. Students who have this growth mindset are more likely to persist through challenges and are more resilient to failures. If we connect this to Angela Duckworth's research on grit, then we can see that having the belief that you can grow to overcome challenges and having the commitment to persevere through challenges are two very powerful contributors to your academic success. From the research we've discussed, it seems that changing your way of thinking, your attitude, can have a big positive impact on your academic success. But now let's discuss some of the factors that can help us achieve this. Researchers Christopher Motz and Mariam Hussein examined how this perseverance of effort component of grit was linked to academic success. They found that students who exhibited perseverance were more likely to have higher academic outcomes because they were more likely to engage in effective, self-regulated learning. Self-regulated learning was the means by which perseverance led to academic success. Self-regulated learning involves motivation and the use of cognitive and self-regulatory strategies. So the first component is motivation, and this includes self-efficacy, a concept originally developed by famous psychologist Albert Bandura. And this is the belief that we are capable of achieving our goal. This is related to the growth mindset we were discussing earlier. And this motivation component also includes seeing the value of that objective. So if we value what we're working towards, and we're passionate about the ideas, or we see that this objective will be useful, and if we believe that one way or another we're eventually capable of getting there, then we will be motivated. The second component of self-regulated learning involves the use of effective strategies to help get us to our objectives. These strategies include cognitive strategies, where we are organizing, structuring, and elaborating on the concepts in order to facilitate learning. Metacognitive strategies, where we are reflecting on the effectiveness of our learning and whether our techniques need to be modified. Motivational strategies, where we engage in positive self-talk and or provide self-consequences for successes or failures. And time and environment management strategies, where we use strategies to keep on schedule and avoid procrastination, time management techniques. And where we create an effective environment for studying, perhaps by removing distractions from our studying environment. And just to further make this point and tie these factors together, a study by Pratsala and Redford from 2010 found that having higher level of self-efficacy was related to taking a deeper and better approach to studying. They found that students who believed they were academically capable were more likely to use effective cognitive strategies, carefully and systematically thinking through arguments and evidence, challenging them and integrating this new information with their already existing knowledge. In contrast, students with low self-efficacy were more likely to take a surface-level approach to studying, focusing on superficial details and rote memorization. Across most of the rest of this video series, I'll be providing evidence-based ideas and examples for applying these sorts of motivational and strategy techniques to our own behaviors. But while we're here, let's take each of the points we've discussed and show how we can put these to work to facilitate our own academic success. So we were talking about motivation, and the first component was self-efficacy. If you don't have self-efficacy, you don't believe you are capable of accomplishing a particular goal, then this is going to undermine your motivation. Why bother trying if you already know you're not capable? Therefore, you need to know that you are capable. Of course you are. You just need to get to work. It may be a lot of work, but one way or another you can get it done. And once you start, you'll often find that it isn't as hard as you may have thought. The second component of motivation was value. Sometimes you're lucky enough to be working on a project or taking a course in which you're genuinely interested. And in these cases, you value the work you're doing because you're passionate about the subject or the goal. But sometimes you're working on a project or taking a course where you're not particularly passionate about the material. In these instances, you need to find other ways to value the work. Maybe this course is helping you develop some functional skills that you can use later in your career, or maybe this course is a useful stepping stone toward your larger goals of obtaining your degree and getting a successful career. The research we were discussing on effective self-regulated learning also identified that we need to make use of effective strategies. This includes cognitive strategies, where we can put ideas into our own words, creating flowcharts, recognizing hierarchies within the material, and identifying similarities and differences between concepts. This also includes metacognitive strategies. An example would be building in reflection points, where you pause to evaluate whether a particular cognitive strategy is effectively helping you master the material. And if you are putting in effort towards studying but still not mastering the material, then switching up your techniques to find a strategy that works more effectively for the particular material on which you are currently working. Effective self-regulated learning also includes the use of motivational strategies. One example would be to build in a reward system for accomplishing particular milestones, such as a cookie after successfully reading and taking study notes on 15 pages of a textbook. Another example is the use of positive self-talk, where you make a point of noting your accomplishments and giving yourself praise for achieving a goal. Hey, look at that, I just finished my lab report, I put my mind to it, and I got that done. Yay! Effective self-regulated learning also includes time and environmental management strategies. Managing your environment involves recognizing and removing things that take you out of your studying mindset, such as putting your phone out of sight, as well as having a dedicated studying space. For example, studying in the library, generally avoid studying in your bedroom. Managing your time involves planning a study schedule, using a calendar, and booking time in that calendar for studying. Now that we've discussed the research, let's return to the question we had at the beginning. Is success in university all about just being smart? I hope the research and examples we've discussed here will help you to see that success in university involves a number of factors, many of which are under your control. And if you can control them, you can change them. And that means that you have the capacity to achieve success in university or wherever you choose. In the other videos in this series, we'll dig into more of the academic success research on a variety of topics, including topics such as note-taking, studying, preparing for and writing tests, being effective in and out of lectures, making use of memory science to maximize memory, and more. And in addition, we will get more specific details about how to apply the science of success in our own lives. Thanks for watching.